I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, April the 11th, where we're finally starting to see some sunshine up in the Midwest and places, some big cattle concentration areas, parts of the northern plains, but that extreme northern plains up there in Montana, North Dakota, places like that, they can't seem to get done with winter. Still having a cold, rainy, snowy, mixed type weather, trying to calve, having a lot of trouble. I hear a lot of people that are losing a lot of newborn calves up there in that country, and maybe enough to be significant when the numbers start coming this fall. But nevertheless, we're starting to see some sunshine, a little twinge of green on the horizon in your grass pastures, and that's a good thing, and it's starting to perk some of your smaller time grazing backgrounders up, as they usually wait till it gets right to the green before they buy. And your bigger grazers that are going to turn out in your major grazing areas, they've already put their cattle together and starting to turn them out. But look at the board on Tuesday. June live cattle down 40 cents at 102.10. Your April about had to be higher, and it was up 77 cents. We're squarely in April, and it's quite a ways behind what your market is, but it was up 77 and closed at 112.80 on Tuesday. May feeder cattle down a quarter at 135.27, and April up 37 cents at 134.82. Your fats, of course, we haven't had any significant trade yet. We did see about 850 in Nebraska trade on Tuesday at 114. But they do have a big offering on the Fed Cattle Exchange this week here on Wednesday morning. You can get on there and watch that timed auction at fedcattleexchange.com. But they've got over 3,900 head. That's one of the biggest runs they've ever had, and they haven't had a decent run for a long time. But they've got a big consignment of big heavy cattle from up in Nebraska at your outfit that used to be typically your Tuesday traders, but a big family out there they have a lot of cattle on feed, but they've got a lot of cattle on there, and hopefully they get them sold. I hope they get them sold steady or better. But box beef cutout values continue to drift lower, and they should bottom out this week sometime. Typically it's this week that those cutout levels bottom out, and we start getting far enough into the spring that your grilling demand kind of takes over, and your cutouts, all your dressed meats will get higher. But choice cutouts on Tuesday afternoon, 213.51 down 153. Selects down $1.81 at 201.33, and that choice select spread is widening out at a little over $12 now. But a lot of big volume beef trade last week, so that kind of cleaned a little bit of the backlog out, and we should. That was the biggest week of beef trade that we've had so far this year, was last week. So that was good. We got to keep using that stuff up and going on. But the wall of fat cattle that we've been dreading, that's supposed to be coming down the pike here, and we thought it'd be sometime this month. Now a lot of people are saying, of course everybody's got their ideas, and I'm not sure where we're at, but some people are saying it's going to be further into May before we get there because of all this bad weather. Well, we hadn't had much bad weather in the southern plains. That wouldn't have been enough to step them back. They might have got chilly and ate a little more a few mornings, but up in the northern plains, yeah, there was some storms and mud, things like that, that's going to hold those back a little bit, and maybe it'll scatter them out a little bit. That giant wall of cattle that we oftentimes hear coming never comes to fruit quite as bad as what they always think it's going to be. But look at your feeder markets, your real-time index on Beef Market Central, late Tuesday sitting at 134.99, up a dime from Monday's close, and that's saying quite a bit, because look at the weights have moved up. That's a weighted average from 7 to 899 pound steers, but it goes to show you there's not many 7 weights selling right now. It's bigger, heavier cattle, because all those cattle up through the 12 states are averaging 812. Normally it's right around 800 pounds, and it was up 4 pounds, so that number could actually be a little stronger than that. OKC West had their calf sale on Tuesday, 1,500 head. They only had 750 last week, if you remember, but we're comparable. The calves were selling $2 to $5 higher. And like I said, we're just starting to get a little bit of green grass in some spots. Normally it would be gangbusters, you know, down in South Texas, places like that, you know, their trees are out, the grass is green, they've turned their cows out, and everything's great. But you get up into the plains and it's just been behind because we haven't had any sunshine and warm weather, and particularly warm nights. But Ozarks Regional Stockyards, West Plains, Missouri had a great sale on Tuesday. 2,800 head there. Their calves sold $4 to $8 higher and spots $10 higher. We had some aggressive bidding from some backgrounders there that want some more cattle to turn out. Look at some individual quotes. Bluegrass Stockyards in Lexington, Kentucky had 60 head of 768 pound steers, bring $144.50. It doesn't get any higher than that. Even in your northern plains areas, we're starting to get into the time of the year where your feeders are not as worried about those cattle having hair, and they'll go back east and buy some cattle. Not that there's anything wrong with the quality there. The quality is plenty good enough for them, but sometimes they don't have the hair that they think they need to phase off the cold temps. But the weather's turned now, and those cattle feed just fine, and there's plenty of northern plains demand going into Kentucky and in the south for yearling feeder cattle. You look at another bluegrass location at Stanford, Kentucky. They had a Holstein special there. They had 58 head of 723 pound Holsteins, bring 93 1/4, so that gives you an idea of what the spots are bringing right now. Let's look at Ozarks Regional Stockyards. Like I mentioned, they had a heck of a sale, and they had a really reputation consignment of big yearlings come through there. Some cattle come off Doc Phillips' old farm, and red Angus types with an average flesh condition on them, but top quality. And it doesn't matter whether at top quality brings top dollar. But in West Plains, Missouri, South Central, extreme South Central Missouri, 108 head of 880 pound steers bring $133 1/4, one drag. Fredonia, Kansas, a good test of the market, 106 head of 808 pound steers bring $140. That's your feeder flash for Wednesday.